Okay, so if you launch this VirtualBox, we need to do some settings over here. By the way, if you have your virtual machine running, go ahead and close it out and turn it off. It should be like this, power off. And then go into settings and then network. And then select the one that says host only adapter. And all these settings should match this here, okay? Let me know when you all guys are ready with this. Okay. Can I proceed? Can one of you confirm that?
Yes, sir. We're done.
Okay. So when you are here, all you need to do is just change it to host only adapter and then click OK and then turn it back on.
So, why we did this?
We are going to change this and start using PROTech starting today.
No, that I understand. I mean, if you add one technical description that earlier it was bridge adapter and now we're saying host only. So that's the reason.
Okay. Can you say that again, please?
Sorry, I was saying that earlier it was a bridge adapter, which is different network connection type, and earlier we were saying host only. So what is the change behind the scene?
Yeah, but if you have a bridge adapter, you can go outside the internet. So we're gonna work without internet, and then when it's time to go on the internet, I'll explain that later on.
Okay, thank you. So after the change, did you start, or we are the state is powered off right now?
Yeah, start.
Okay.
Once you change it, start it. And then you should have this screen. And then we need to look up the IP address, right? So to get the IP address for this machine, type if config, CONFIG, and hit enter. All lowercase. If you could see this here. Okay, once you get it, if config, then look for the IP address that starts with 10.168 something. I'm sorry, not 10 dot, but look for something that says 192. We're going to have to connect to that address. So for me, it's 192.168.56.103. Whatever you have in there, put that one in here. Seems like mine didn't take the connect. Okay, and then in here it says save session, right? So just type the same IP, copy and paste it here, and then click open.
But definitely, my guess is this 56 is default, whatever this VM box came with. This is not the actual IP address. IP address should be uh, on our local router subnet, which is 192.168, whatever it is. In my case, it's 192.168.1, and I do not see that interface, even the wireless which I've connected.
Okay, to take a picture and put in chat. I want to take a look.
Yeah. Even in your case, the IP address which you are seeing, I'm seeing the same thing.
Yeah, don't worry about them. As long as you're getting 192.68, anything like that, just connect to that.
Okay.
Because we already made a connection. If you remember in the very first class, uh, we made the connection for, uh, let's see, did I show you this?
Bridge adapter.
Yeah, no, not the bridge adapter. We went in here and we went into network settings. And then here we have the VirtualBox host only network. Then we
Yep.
went in there and then we asked it to be an automatic IP. Okay, we're not worried about connecting to the internet at this moment. Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So all we are worried is from here to here, are we going to connect to this box here? Okay.
Okay.
And then click open, and then it should give you first time it will give you some warning. If not, then it will give you this. And this black box that we worked on yesterday, just minimize it. Don't close this. You are connecting to it.
So, Brother Zafar,
Yes.
where from your screen, this screen, which IP address you picked?
Whichever one it's showing starting with 192 over here. Do you have anything that's starting with 192? If you could take a picture and send it to me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I have starting with 192, 168, 56, 101.
Okay, yeah, put that one in there.
But you have this in front of ETH3, but mine is ETH1, I think.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I've been doing other stuff with my computer here, so that's fine.
I see. And where we need to put this?
Okay, search for, or when you downloaded the things I told you to download, it should have downloaded PuTTY. Search for PuTTY. If not, look on the desktop. If not, search for PuTTY.
Yep, I found it. So we need to put it in their IP address, host name.
Okay, right here, something like this come up.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, put that IP address in there and put it again twice. You could actually save it here. Save it also, I think.
So, was PuTTY and PuTTYgen is the same thing? I search in the Windows.
No. PuTTygen is something else. Look for something that says PuTTY.
Okay.
Yeah, only PuTTY.
Okay. I think I have not installed that. I'll install quickly. You can go.
If you had run that course download, you should already have it on it.
I have that. Yeah.
So PuTTY, when you run the PuTTY, it also has PuTTygen. That's something else you use later on. Okay, so somebody's having issue here. Okay, make sure Give me 1 second, guys. Somebody is asking for help. Okay, guys, if you are having anything, take a picture and put it in the chat. Okay, all right, let's move forward here. So once you do that, then you should be able to make a connection. Okay, so all I have to do, you could actually save it here. Next time you could start the box in the background and then start it. Okay, so make sure on your virtual box, all those things matches. The host only adapter, and then down on the middle it says allow all. When all those things matches, you shouldn't have any problem. Okay. Okay, some of them are not getting IP. So what you have to do is make sure you're doing follow this. Bring up this PC and then right click on this PC and click properties. Yeah, if you had followed the very first video, you would have got all this right. And then click on control panel and then click on view network status and tasks. Okay. And then click on change adapter settings and look for the one that says VirtualBox host only network. Okay, right click on it and then click properties. Okay, once you're there, click on Internet Protocol version 4 and then click properties and make sure obtain IP address automatically, and these two are checked. more than likely, if you're not getting IP, it will give you use the following IP. So make sure you set it to automatically. And then click OK, close out of it, and restart your system. Restart your VirtualBox. By the way, if you're not able to connect to PuTTY, but you could still follow along in here, and then later on you could figure it out, okay? If you're not able to go in PuTTY, use this directly as we were doing yesterday, okay? All right, let's move forward.
So Zafar, how did you save the session? I have the IP address entered, then but when I click save, it is not saving.
No, put something in there. Put something in the, put IP address in here, and then you could actually name it. Let me just delete this here. I'm going to show you how.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. So mine is 192.168.56.103.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to name this as Red Hat. Okay, and then I'll save it here. So next time when it saves this IP, and next time when you reboot the box, it will it saves this here.
Okay, got it.
But I'm telling you now here, so these are dynamically assigned IP here. So if the IP address change, don't freak out. You just go back in here and change it. Okay, I've configured here, and then you could see the new IP in here. Okay. But right now you all are good. So let's move forward here. So now you see you have like a better looking screen here, and then you could literally go in here and play around. Like you go into right click and go into change settings. What I normally do is I go into appearance, and then font size I usually keep it to 14. Okay, so that you could see it better on the screen. And then I usually go here and foreground, and then I keep the foreground some bright color so that it's easier for me and everybody else. So now you see my screen is pretty large. Okay, so PuTTY, what it does is after a little while, if you don't connect it, it will close out on you. Okay, all you do is right click and restart. Okay, yeah. Somebody just put a picture in there. Yeah, go ahead and click OK there, and then right click here, and then say restart. It will tell you to join because it timed out. That error message you're getting is timed out. Now, don't get confused here. This is PuTTY. All you're doing is connecting to this here. This one doesn't have like any good interface, copy, paste. You can do it. You may be able to do all that in here. All you're doing is this is just the dumb window. You're just connecting here, and everything, all the other commands, you're running on this box, the original box we worked yesterday. Okay, all right, let's do it. So yesterday we learned how to so yesterday we learned quite a few things, a lot of good stuff, cd command and all that. By the way, before I proceed, let me show you here. So on the site here, I'm putting together another separate field here so that we have all the commands here. So as we start learning more commands, I'll put all those commands in here. I purposely didn't explain much in here because you will have all the explanation in the course notes here. Whatever I'm typing in here during the class, it's all going to be in here, okay? So please utilize this. Okay, so yesterday we worked on creating the files here. Today, I'm sorry, directories. Today, we will work on creating a file. By the way, one thing is clear within Linux is that the way Linux operating system works is for the system there is no difference between a file and a directory. So what that means is when you create a file and when you create a folder, it writes that information same exact way as if it's writing a file. So okay, so when you're on the job, and then somebody asks you, you are having a directory is missing or something, and they will say, what is the file name? That means they're actually asking you for the directory name. And when it's time for they're asking you the file name, that means it's a file name, okay? So this is how Linux work is. There is no difference between a file is also, I'm sorry, file is a file and directory is also a file. Okay, we'll learn that why Linux is writing directory also as a file. Okay, when we go into the administration, then we will know more about, and then you will understand it better then. Okay, but for now, remember this. Okay, so we've been creating directory using the mkdir command, right? So what is the command to create a file? The command to create a file is touch and the file name. Okay, so when you type touch and file name, it creates a empty file. So let me just go ahead here. So let me do ls, and then let me go into my favorite directory, Red Hat. So in here, I see two folders here, Black Hat and Green Hat. Okay. So you know what? I just remember something else. Before we move more, any directory, whether it has any files or not, there are two hidden directories in there. Okay, you see this here, right? There is one directory with a period, hidden directory with a period, and there is another hidden directory with two periods. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, the directory with the single period means it's a present directory. Okay, it means it's a present working directory. And then the one with the two periods, two dot dot, means previous directory, previous working directory. Alright, give me 1 second. Send me sent a message. Okay, not here. Okay, I'll show you how. Let me clear this, and we have 2 directories in here, right? And let me go into the directory green hat. Let me see if something is in there. Oh man. Okay, let me create a blank directory. Okay, mkdir blank. Okay, let me go into the directory. The command to go into a directory is change directory, cd. We already learned about this. But when I do ls, there is nothing in there, right? But when I do ls-l, ls-la, okay, what the system does is, the system is creating this directory here, 2 directories. No matter what, you wake up in the middle of the night and create a blank directory, it will definitely create these 2 blank directories here. What this directory is, these are commands. These are actually executable commands that the system is using. Okay, I'll show you how. So when I type cd ... that means I'm telling the system to change the directory back 1 level up. Okay. So what was my previous working directory? My previous working directory was Red Hat. So when I type cd ... and hit enter, it takes me back to Red Hat. Okay. And then if I type it again, it will take me back to root. I'm sorry, I misspoke here. This doesn't mean a previous working directory. This means one level of direct goes up. So it goes up 1 level directory here. Okay, I'll show you in a Windows perspective here. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so we have this folder here, root, right? So, and then that folder, so that folder has 3 folders in here, right? Let me make a folder here, black hat, and blank. Okay, so I'm in this folder here. So when I type the command cd ... that means it's nothing but changing from here to going to this directory here. So going 1 directory backwards, going 1 level of directory up. Okay, and when you hit enter, it does that for you. Okay, so what does the period does is, what does the period does? So I showed you here that there is also one more directory that is that it says is a period. So what this period does is when you do cd dot period, what it's going to do is going to stay in the same directory. So I mentioned here, this means the directory is with a single period means it's a present working directory. So it changed the directory and it changed it to the present working directory. Okay, so I know I should expect some questions here. Anybody? Anybody has any questions?
Yeah, I'm confused.
I know. You should be. And I think most of the class is confused. But this is the beauty of Linux, that once you understand all this here, everything you are doing and all you're doing in here is you're doing it in a dark window. And once you get a hang of this, I mean, so just remember this: when you do two dots, this is actually a file in here. Our file is also a directory. I mentioned in here that a directory is also a file. So this is actually a executable file. You're telling you're using this file. You are executing this file to go back, and you're executing this file to stay where you are. Okay, watch this. I type ls, right? Let me go back here. cd okay, so if I type ls here, it's giving you what's in there. If I type ls dot period, it's giving you the same thing. That means you want to know what are the contents of this file. ls is same thing, ls then period is same thing. You will know when you are copying and moving things from one place to another place. You will know how things are working, and you will definitely be using these periods and double periods a lot, not once or twice, a lot. Okay, we probably will use it today. I'll show you how. Okay, so now back to the main topic here. Today we're going to learn how to create a file. So what is the command to create file? Command to create file is touch. Okay, so go ahead and type touch and give it a file name, file1. Okay, and hit enter. So when you do ls, you see a file with this a different color. That means this is a file. Okay, I see. And also you could do ls-l, and you see in here the last item in here. We'll go much deeper into what all this means here. Okay, for now, what you could do is you could just look by looking at here D and this being just a hyphen. The one that starts with hyphen is a file, and the one that starts with little d, that means it's a directory. Okay, for now, don't worry about the file and directory means it's also a file. Okay, you will understand it later on, but at this moment just remember directory is directory, file is a file. Okay, so go ahead and so we just created a file. What we could do is we could create multiple files also. Touch file2, file3, file4. Okay, and hit enter. We should have 4 files now. All of a sudden we have 4 files. Okay. So what you could do is you don't have to be creating a file in the same folder. From the same directory wherever you are, what you could do is you could create a file in a different directory. So I want to create a file in the folder name green hat. So what I'm going to do, touch. Hello, anybody has a question? Okay, so touch green hat, and then what you could do is you could give the name green file and hit enter. Okay, so what it did is, oh, actually, this is supposed to be in here. Why is it not working? Okay, so I will get back on that one. How you create a file in a different directory, but somebody had a question. There is a typo. File 1. Okay. Okay, so far we used a touch command to create all these files here. Let me go ahead and remove these files. So how would you remove the files? Simple. RM and the file name. Okay, by the way, in PuTTY, if you double click on it, once it's highlighted, that means it's already copied. And then all you have to do is right click again, and it deletes the file. I mean, it pastes the file in there. And you hit enter. You say remove regular empty file, push yes. And then when you type there, the file is gone. So touch command example touch file 1. Okay, it creates a empty file. Okay, by the way, I should check, are you guys still typing with me? Or you just following along and then you'll watch the video later? Can somebody confirm?
I'm trying to type.
I'm typing.
Okay, great. Okay, are you caught up with me now?
Yes.
Yes, I'm removing the file.
Okay, great. And then to remove the file, I go up here and yeah, I mean, you already learned about the remove command. Remove the file is just RM. RM is to remove the file. Give me one moment here. Okay, so the command is to remove the file is to rm. Then you type rm. You see how it asks you to ask the question, do you really want to do it? You type rm hyphen f. What it does is you're using the handle force. Hyphen f is force, and then you could give the name of the file here. Okay. So you type rm hyphen f and then hit enter. It won't even ask you. Okay. So it forcefully removed it. What if you want to remove bunch of files together? You want to remove all these files simultaneously, right? Without even asking. You type rm hyphen f, and then you type the little initial of the file, and then you could type asterisk. So what it's going to do here is anything that starts with F, all these files starting with F, all those will be gone. See, all those files are gone here. So you got to be really careful when you're deleting any files or folder or anything like that, especially when you're logged in as root. You know, there are a lot of commands you could use login as root that could corrupt the system. So you have to be very, very careful how you remove or delete the files or the folders. Okay. Okay. So it's the same thing. If you want to move the file here, you just type move command, touch file 1. I'm going to create one more time and type move file 1, and then you want to move it to black hat. Okay, and then you do ls. The file is gone from there. The file is gone from there. So what you could do is you could do cd black hat. Oh man. And you see the file is sitting over there. Okay. So we learned how to remove the file, how to move the file, and then we're going to learn how to copy the file. So you do ls here, and then what you could do is you could do cp is a command. You type file name and then the new file name. You do give file 2, cp file 1 file 2. So if the file 2 doesn't exist, what it's going to do is it's going to copy or create a new file. There you go. So what it does is it copied the file. That means it made an exact replica of the file 1 to file 2. Okay, so somebody asked me about the copy command here. This is it. So you copy, you use the cp command. You could use this command to copy the files and folders. Okay, let's see here, what else? Move. Well, I suppose you could use the move file too. Let's move these two files here. MV, you could move it individually, or you could move like two files together. You could do move and then move it to the directory whichever you want. Okay, so move, in case you could type only file 1, or you could type file then the asterisk. When you type an asterisk, it will auto complete all this for you. So it will think, okay, these are all the files that are starting with F. Any files that start with F, you want it moved. So I'll show you how. So you're moving anything that's starting with F, and then you're moving it to White Sox folder. Okay, so it's gone from there, and when you do into White Sox, and then your files you just moved are in here.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So after the White Sox, you put a slash. Is that needed?
No, that's not needed.
Okay.
That's not needed. What it really does is, I was using the tab key. I mentioned, how the tab key autofills it for you. It's just keeping it ready for you. The slash. Sometimes slash is harder to find. It's keeping it ready for you, and then it will give you more option if there are like any files in there. So, for example, when you be doing here, when you be doing this, somebody's calling me. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's a good question here. Now it kind of sense that there are like 3 more folders in here. So it kind of automatically is telling you that there are more folders in here. So when you double tap a couple times, then you have an option here. Okay, then you could try to go into just type B and then tab. It autofills it for you. Okay. So let's see here. Let's move. Let me cancel this. We could do that too. Okay, did we already talk about moving the folder yesterday? Yeah, we already moved the folder yesterday. So I don't need to show that today. But I just already covered how to move the file, right? Uh, move. Okay, yeah, this is the same example. To move the file, move file name and the folder name. It's a similar thing. Okay, so let's see here. Did we talk about moving the directory? Moves files and folder. Example, move. So we did move one directory from one place to another place yesterday. Okay. So yesterday I forgot to show you there is one command, rmdir. Okay, rmdir, what it does is it removes the empty directory. Yesterday I showed you only removing the directory using rm command, but rmdir, it only deletes and it is exclusively reserved for removing the blank directory. So let me see here. CD blank. Okay, this is a blank directory, right? Blank is a blank directory. So how do I remove it? rmdir blank. So it didn't even ask me if to confirm that if it has any content you really want to remove it. Okay, so I'm going to put it here, right, with this command. Insert below. So rm rmdir. Okay, but if you have something in there, if I could type correctly. Okay, I just created a blank directory, and then I'm going to go into that blank directory, and I'm going to create a file there, touch X file, and hit enter. And if I go back, then if I type rmdir blank and hit enter, it says you won't be able to remove it using the rmdir command. So it's a good practice that when you're removing the directory, try to remove it using rmdir. If that doesn't work, then use our good old rm blank. Okay, and hit enter. So it's not going to do that because you have to force it. -F. You have to use the force command. Okay, let me put that down here. Okay, I put it in here already. Remove files and folders, but for directory use -R. Okay, so it's already there. I just showed you how to do it. I'm sorry, -F. Okay, all right, good. So these are the basic commands here. Believe me, there are a lot of other commands that you could find on internet that will help you, but these are the basic ones, and I'm using this daily. I'm using it quite often. Okay, let's see, somebody's asking a question. Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, there is a typo. Somebody's how do you go back on a Red Hat folder? I'm typing cd Red Hat. Okay, yeah, I mean, can you, whenever you have a question, can you take a picture and put it in the chat? That way it's be easier for me. Can you put a picture and put it in the chat? Okay, guys, I'm going to give a 2-minute pause here, and I want to take some questions here. Or if you're typing anything like that, if you want to catch up, do it right now.
I got question. So again, when we were trying to use PuTTY, the IP is the internet address, and not the broadcast, correct?
Yeah, look for the one that says iNet address.
Okay.
Is it not showing for you?
No, it is showing. There's like two. There's one on well, the other one on the bottom is iNet address 127.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a loop, and then the only you should have like ETH3 or ETH2. Uh, the only worry about the one that is starting with 192, because
Okay.
most of us has a home router, and that's how it will give you out the IP to you.
Okay. The reason I was asking because I'm at work and so using their Wi-Fi, and then so don't want to cause problem to their network, so
It
that's why.
won't. It won't. I explained to you here when we went in here, and then you go in here, and we went in there and we are sharing the VirtualBox host only network adapter. It creates one on your machine. It's a virtual adapter, and then what we are doing is we are sharing its resources here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So Zafar, remove directly is not working even with -F. Remove.
-F.
Yeah, if we do a RM -F directory name, it's not deleting. It says it's a directory.
Yeah. -F. Let's do it here together, okay? Let's do ls.
Brother, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Actually, I was not audible, so I disconnected. I was asking the question about the switch F in removed file RM. If it is forcing, why we were not able to remove the empty directory, or it doesn't work for empty directory?
What is it saying? It doesn't work for empty directory. It worked for me here. RM-F.
Yeah.
And then the blank. It
Yeah.
said,
The next time you cannot remove blank.
oh, the blank is still there, right? So what you do is RM-R.
Yeah, R I know it works, but so are we agreeing that F doesn't work?
No. F works too. Both works too. I'm sorry, I misspoke. F works. What F is doing is forcing it, and then R, what it's doing is recursively. So if the directory is not blank, let's test it out right now here. CD.
Yeah, F didn't work for you, and neither worked for me earlier, basically.
Okay, yeah. Because it didn't work for you is because the directory is not empty. Right?
Yeah, that's what my question was. That so F will not work if the directory is not empty, right?
You could do RF too. Let's try RF. R stands for recursively and F stands for force. Okay. And then type blank. I mean, type the name of the directory.
Yep.
And it worked this time.
Yeah, because of switch R.
R and F, yeah.
Yeah, but if we would have only blank directory, blank without any contents in it, and we were using only switch F, then it would not work, right?
No. For blank directory, use RMDIR.
Okay.
For blank directory, I put on here, this is used to remove the empty directory. Okay. RMDIR.
Okay, so RM will not work for empty directory if we are not using switch R.
Yeah. RM is recursively means all the contents inside the directory.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I mean, the thing is, all the good questions here. I mean, I see a lot of people are pinging me here that they're finding out it could be the solution here for something.
And other thing was just observation. I just observe. I don't know. Most of people might already know that the 2 dots and 1 dot which we were discussing earlier. I observed it gives the number of directories in the current directory. If it's 1 dot, in case of 2 dots, it gives the number of directories in the previous directory.
What do you mean?
Like if you ls, if there's no other directory, if you give you number 2, so 2 hidden directories.
Yeah, there are 2 hidden directories in there.
So see, the number is 5 and 23. So 23 means there are 23 directories in the.
No. I mean, there is something else here. We talked about it's inodes here. Uh, have you noticed that? Is it in some other directory?
Yeah, I just quickly counted, and that's what I observed.
So you're telling me this directory has 23 directories in there?
The previous one.
No, 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 no. There's something else. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
But here's the thing here. So now that we talked about this, let me show you the concept here. Moving around using the directories dot dot. Okay, let's go here. Let's do pwd. Okay, you all know very good old pwd. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around and change some directories here. Let me do ls here and cd. Let me go into black hat. Then anything else in there? And then there is something else in there is a Red Sox. Okay, and then let me see, is there anything else? And let me make something else in here. Okay, and then I'm going to go into Bears. So now you see the absolute path here. We are like way deeper into the directories here. So we are into root, then Red Hat, Black Hat, White Sox, Red Sox, and Bears. So right now this is where we are because it says Bears here. When we type pwd, this is where we are right now. So I'll show you how to move around using the dots. Okay. So what you would do is we already know you want to go back. When you type cd dot dot, can somebody tell me what will happen? Which directory is going to throw me back into?
Red Sox.
Okay, great. So what I want to do is I want to go into White Sox. Simple. Slash dot dot. Now you see we have added another directory. We are telling cd command to go back a directory, and at the same moment go back another directory. So when I type this command here, we're going to land in White Sox. See, I told you we're going to land in White Sox. If we just have typed this one, we would have landed in Red Sox. And then when I typed this slash again 2 dots, it landed me in here. Okay. Now you keep adding in here. You could go all the way over here. Okay, I'll show you how. I want to go back to Bears again without typing all the complicated commands here. Can you tell me what would I do?
CD is a hyphen.
Yeah, great. Good job. And then it threw me back into Bears. So let's try this command again. Slash dot dot slash dot dot. Okay, so we are telling it to go back 4 directories here. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So when I hit enter, it should throw me back into Red Hat. It did. See, it threw me back into Red Hat. I typed cd hyphen, it took me back to the previous directory. So if I want to go back to root here, I could simply do cd root, cd slash root, and I am into all the way. When I do pwd, see, I'm all the way to the tree. I'm all the way on the bottom of the tree where the root is. I'm all the way over here. Okay. So all this is happening thanks to this 2 dots, 2 hidden directories that are taking our command. Okay. Let me go back in here. And then sometimes you see, instead of typing this thing here, you want to go back to Red Hat, right? So it may be easier for you to, just type Red Hat, cd/root/Red Hat, and hit enter. You're over there. You could do a lot of things here. You could do a lot of things just to jump around, okay? But you have to understand the relative path and absolute path, how it works. It shouldn't be any complicated here. Any questions so far? Okay, and what else you could do is you could just copy it too. Copy, CD, and right click. It all copies it and hit enter. All right. Now you could see why Putty is so popular. Okay, somebody's asking how to remove the directory. RM Red Hat. It says there is no file or directory there. So do ls and see if it exactly there or not. Okay. First you have to do ls and make sure the directory is there. If the directory is not there, then it cannot remove it. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave 2 minutes for anybody to ask me more questions. Okay. If you are not caught up, let me know right now because this is the time I'm gonna help you. And also the move command, you use move command to rename the files. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna create a file, touch file 1. Okay, and then I'm going to rename it. Over here I explained yesterday, you use the move command to rename it. Move file 1 and then file 2. Did I just talked about this already? Yeah. Okay, so the file 1 is gone, but it's renamed itself to file 2. Okay. Relative path, touch, copy. And to create a hidden file, touch, then type a period. and then you type file 3 and hit enter. At my job, I use the hidden file to keep all my passwords, okay? That's how you do it. But if somebody has a root access, it's brutal. Anybody who has a root access has access to anything and everything. Okay, somebody's asking a question. No, it was not coming up. Should I install now or after the class? Okay, so over here, touch file creates an empty file, and then to create blank file, example, touch file 1. You have a question?
Zafar?
Yeah.
If no one has a question, can you do ls here? Ls with switch?
Simple ls?
Yeah, with any switch that shows the hidden file as well.
Yeah, when you do ls, it's not going to show you any hidden files.
No, I'm saying if you do ls with switch A and L.
Yeah. Oh, AL?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So the question I had earlier, if we look at the number with single dot is 2, right?
Yes, this one, yeah.
And with the 2 is 3, right?
Yeah.
So can you do change directory double dot and go one step ahead? And then repeat the same command, yeah. So here we have 3 directories. So current folder single dot is showing us 3, and previously the double dot was showing us 3 and the single dot was showing us 2, because we have only 2 hidden directories. So that was my observation, which I want to clarify, that it shows exactly the number of directories in current and previous folder. So now it shows the 5 number of directories. If you go one more time, the previous directory.
So you're telling me that how many directories are from the root? So this is 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is first one?
Yeah, so I just observed
this
that.
This one is 6th one, so but it's still saying 3.
No, the number of directories in the directory. Like, so we have here 3. So
this Red Sox, it has a total of 4 files in here.
No, directories.
2 directories.
Bears as well.
Directories and 2 hidden ones and one this Bears is a directory. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
So 3.
So you're telling me 2 in here and then add 2 here. That means it's total 5 more directories for going forward.
So if we go one step behind, then we will have 5 in the previous directory. Where this directory is, that will be 5. Like.
Okay. Going to Bears, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now if we see, so now we have 2 in here, like that we have both hidden directories. So 2 and 3 would be in the parent directory of the Bears. Where Bears is.
You're telling me this number is changing based on what's in here?
No, the second line is changing. Second line is a count of the number of directories in the parent directory of Bears. And first number is the number of directories in the Bears.
Mm-hmm. But right now we don't have a number of directories. We have only 2 files in here. We don't have
So
any
no,
directories.
but we have 2 hidden directories. It will never be less than 2.
Okay, okay. That's a great. I'll look into this but I was thinking this is something else. But we have when we are doing the user administration, we have a lot of things to go through here. Give me
Yeah.
1 second here. Let me see if your observation is accurate. Okay, yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you at this moment here. We'll move forward and then I'll make a note here and look into more into that, okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. All right, anybody has more questions? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let's see if we are ready to put some content. Okay, let me introduce you a brand new uh, I already showed you how to copy one folder. Okay, one thing I forgot is I'll show you how to copy. Um, I'll show you how to copy a folder with content. So far, we have just copied the folder without content, right? So if we type like cp command, it's not going to work. Let's see here. We have bears in there. Let me go back one more. Okay, let me remove the files here so that we are out of this. rm-rf and then the file name. So the files are gone. All we are here is left with folder here. So let me go into the folder name red and create some content in there. So I'm going to touch about 5 files in here. File 1, file 2, file 3. That's enough. Okay, the folder red has 3 files in there. Let me go back. So let's see here. Let me copy folder red to folder red socks. Okay. CD red socks. Let me see what's in there first. Something is in there, but I'm not worried. So there are 3 files in the folder red. I'm moving into red socks. I'm copying it to red socks here. If I type cp, previously we have seen cp red into red socks, right? So let's see here. So what happened was we did a command, copy the red into red socks here, but it didn't work. Why it didn't work? Because that folder has some content in it. So for us to be able to copy the folder into the red socks, you have to use some switches. cp, then you have to type r. R means recursively. F means force. Okay, and then you could also type v. V means verbose, means you could see what files are being copied. Okay, and then we're going to type it to red socks. Oh shoot. Then red. Then this is the folder you want to copy, and then the destination folder. Okay, source folder, destination folder. So you hit enter. What it did was it copied the folder, and at the same moment it is just showing you what it copied. Which switch is telling us to do that? Which switch is displaying what it copied? The switch V. V means verbose. Okay, -r means recursively. Okay, -f means force. Okay, different commands have different, for different commands, F means something else, okay? It doesn't mean force all the time, okay? You just have to figure out at the moment. V means verbose. That means it will tell you which files it copied here. So let's go ahead and go into Red Sox folder. All right. Okay, CD. So the folder red is there. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Copying folder with. Okay. Okay. Let me save this here. So when you're practicing it, you're gonna come across a lot of questions here. Go through all this here, and then of course you could put on internet. And once you put on internet, you're gonna find a lot of other ways you could do. There are multiple ways you could do one thing and then the other. What I would suggest is if you find something new, start keeping a journal and start using this in combination of what you found on internet. Okay, that would be really helpful for you. So I showed you how to remove files and folder, but for directory remove this, and then there is remove multiple. Okay, it will remove this. Okay, so we have a good half hour, so I'm going to cover cat. Okay, there is a command called cat. It's what it is it is a cat means concatenate. Okay, it's a command which is built in within the Linux here. Most of the other flavors are also using cat command. It's very, very popular. Okay, so how are we gonna do how are we gonna use the cat command? So let's see here. I'm gonna go into red. Okay, so there is a file. Let me just remove this here. Okay, did you just notice here this command? When you type this command here, is going to delete everything inside the directory, no matter what you have in there. So if you have some files in there, let's see here if I could create. Okay, I have some files in there, and then let me create. So I have this folder here. I want to like completely delete everything out of it. So the command to do this is this one here. What we are doing, we are removing everything recursively by force, and we are deleting everything inside it. Okay, and hit enter. So all the files and the folders in the directory in here are gone. When you do ls, there is nothing in there except the hidden directories. The hidden directories will be there. Okay, so when you go onto your job first day, if you run this command, you're going to be in big trouble, especially if you run a big that command here in /root. There may be some protection in there, but if you run some command like that, you will be in big trouble. Don't do that. Okay, let me see here. Remove. Okay, so for the cat command, there are multiple uses here. Okay, for cat command, mostly you use cat command to read the file here. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Nothing, right? Let me create a file name, touch file 1, and I hit enter. So ls. But here's the thing here. There is a file in here, but I want to read the file. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to read what's inside the file. What you need to do is you type cat and the file name. Okay, and when you hit enter, the file which is cat, it read it. Concatenate is a file. It's a command. It went through the file and read through it. And the reason it's coming up nothing is that's a blank file. Okay, so what you could do is you could add, you use think this as a little notepad here. You want to add something to the file. Okay, you could use the cat command, and then you could give space and then a greater than sign. Let me bring up the keyboard here, which one I'm talking about. Okay, so the greater than sign is here. You have to hold the shift key and push this button. This is a greater than sign. So when you type this, shift and a greater than sign, it types the greater than sign. Okay, and then file name, file 1. Okay, what it's doing here is when I hit enter, it at this moment it kind of went into a quick edit mode. Okay, so let me type here. So cat is used for reading the file, and then cat is used for writing also. Okay, using greater than sign. Okay, so right now I type cat, the greater than sign, and then the file name. Okay, so you see this command line is gone. Now I'm in a quick edit mode. Okay, this throws you into the quick edit mode.
So basically, greater than sign will let us go into edit mode, right?
Edit mode. Right now we are editing the file name, file 1. Did you get it? Right now we are sitting in an edit mode. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is Linux, and then I hit enter. I go to the second line. I'm still in edit mode. Okay, I am okay. So now I put in 2 lines in there. I'm done editing. Okay, when I'm done editing, what I'm going to do is to get out of the edit mode, you have to push Control D, and now you are back to the command line. And previously I said I use cat and the file name to read the file. So let's do it. See, I type cat, and without any switch, I type the file name. It read the file name. What we did here is when we did Control D, it saved and exit. It saved and exit the file. Any questions? We have a full class. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Zafar bhai, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between then VI? I think it was we are editing the file in the VI2, right?
No, this is just a quick edit.
Okay, just a quick edit.
Yeah. I wouldn't say quick edit either. When you're doing some administration, you don't want to launch VI, this and that. Most of the time, what this is just to read the files, what's inside the file. We're gonna spend a good 2 weeks on VI editor.
Okay.
VI editor. And I'm telling you, go ahead.
Control D is save and exit. What is the exiting without saving?
It will stay in there unless you Control D.
No, for Control D, I don't want to commit whatever I typed. I was wrong. I don't want to commit those changes. So what would I do?
So what you have to do is there is no option here. I mean, this is like a quick edit mode. Sometimes like you have like a notepad here. Like it's a quick and easy way to like put a lot of things in here, and there are a lot of functionality that is not available in here. Like you can't put a picture and things like that in here, right?
Okay, so that's fine. Basically, so there's no save or unsave here. It's already saved. Basically, whatever typing is we're typing in the file directly, right?
Yeah, it's saved here. So what you could do is you have to open a different editor, VI editor. The other person asked earlier. We could do the editing in that mode here. But this, I'm just showing you the why cat is being used other than just for reading the files. Okay.
Can we delete any line in the cat?
Not from the cat line. What you could do is you could overwrite it. So
Okay.
if you do this here, cat file 1, and hit enter, done. It's already overwrote it. And if you do Control C, Control D, okay, and then let's see cat. Okay, all the content is gone.
Well, so can we add 2-3 lines here, just for example, so people have a more clear concept of the cat?
Let's do it here. Okay?
2-3 lines, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let me show you at the same time here. So ls is file 1 here, right? What I'm doing here now is there is no other file exist here, but at the same time what I could do is using the cat command, I could create, when I'm using file 2 doesn't exist. Using the cat command also, what I could do is I don't have to use the touch command. Somebody, can you Okay, so what I'm doing at this moment here is the file 2 doesn't exist, right? At this moment, I'm creating a file, and at the same time, I'm going to go into the edit mode when I hit enter. Okay, that's another functionality of the cat command. Okay, so this is Linux. This is a great subject. We are okay, and this is a 4th line. This is okay, and hit enter. Now I'm going to do Control D. Excuse me. What we have is we have 5 lines here. So when I do cat, okay, remember I told you when we did ls we had only one file, right? now we should have two files here because we use the cat file. Cat file has a hidden functionality that if the file doesn't exist, it will create one for you. Okay? But if you type like just cat like this, cat file 3, now it's not going to create new file. You have to use touch file to create a blank file in there. But cat file is primarily used for reading the files, but it's a quick and dirty way to go into the edit mode and quickly create a file. Did you get my concept? It's like a little notepad here. I mean, you know, sometimes how you have Windows sticky notes. You have sticky notes in Windows, right? Have you seen those sticky notes, right? You could just quick and easily open it and then just type it in it, just blank files. You just can't do anything. You could just close out anytime, whenever you want. This is what it is.
Can you go
So
back?
now, previously we saw.
Can you do a cat greater than sign file 2? We want to see again, we want to add some more line into that.
Exactly. I'm coming into that. If I do this now, it's going to overwrite it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's why I'm not seeing
Now,
it.
if you want to add the content here, add another greater than sign.
I see.
Okay. This is a very good question. Sometimes you would have like a log files. You know, the system log. There are system logs here. It just keep on increasing because system is finding some stupid issue and keep filling up the log file. You use this command to override it and clear up some log files. Okay. The more you practice, the more you will learn here, and then you have a very good question here. So now, if I hit this, I goes into edit mode here, but I won't be able to see what's in there already. Okay, I have to use the cat command to see it. So when I'm going to start typing in there, is going to be starting from the 6th line. This is okay. Now let me hit enter. Then I'm going to do Control D. So I'm out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do cat file 2. So I should have about 7 lines in there. There you go.
Okay, ready? Purple.
Hello? Somebody has a question? Okay. So you use a double greater than sign to add to the file. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes. Let me see if I could.
So did you use Control C to exit without saving?
No, Control D. Control C. I don't know what Control C does. I think it corrupts the file or something. Or it actually writes. It writes this line 2 and then exits, something like that. I prefer using Control D because it's a clean way to exit out of it. Okay. All right. So let's continue on. So what you want to do is you will know how powerful cat is. It sounds ridiculous here. You're just using a quick and easy way to do this than that. So what I'm doing here is I am going to use cat, and then I'm going to use file, okay. when I type cat file 2, okay, it gives me the content of file 2, okay. What I want to do is I want to cat file 2 and whatever is being okay, by the way, when you type something on the screen and which was something that comes out, this is called output. I forgot to mention, sorry about that. So when you are dealing with your peers, your team members, you are getting an error message, and they will ask you what's the output. Output is output is whenever you type command, whatever the results you're getting, that's the output. Let me. You should remember this. Somebody will ask you what is the output. This is what the output is. Output is the result of the command. It could be error message or not. Okay, so like here, let me give an error message here. Okay, when you do cat3, you ran the command, right? And this is what the output is. Output is the error message. So anytime it is a good message or bad message, anything output, it's called any messages you're getting on there, it's called output. Okay, remember that this is not a command. Remember, output is not a command. Okay. I'm sorry, somebody had a question. Okay, now all of a sudden I'm curious here. I want to do cat file 2. Let me clear this up. So I have two files here. I know I have file 1 and file 2, but I have a cat. If I do cat file 2, I'll get what's inside the cat 2, right? This is what I get. But I don't want it here. What I could do is the output of file 2, I'm using greater than sign, and then I could put it in file 1. I could put it in the existing file, or I could create a new file. I'm creating a new file at this moment. New file 3 doesn't exist. Okay, remember guys. What I'm doing is I'm catting it. Cat means at this moment without any switch, I'm catting file 2. File 2 is, it has some content, about 7 lines in there. So I'm telling the cat command to read file 2, and whatever the result you're going to get when you read file 2, put that result of that file 2 into file 3. Okay, when I hit enter, it created file 3. You could see the date stamp. It created, this is the latest file. It created at 54. Somebody ping me. Okay, so what it's doing here is now, if I do cat file 3, can somebody tell me what would be the result?
There will be the same result at file 2.
Exactly. There you go. Now, just imagine if you have a file which is about 10 megabits big. Okay, you could use a simple command like this to copy the files and then throw that into any third file or file that doesn't exist, and it takes only few seconds. Imagine if you could do that in the Windows mode. You have to launch some application, copy, paste, and all that. I'm sure there is some command line you could do it on Windows, but this is what it's gonna get interesting the more you get deeper into Linux. Okay. Okay, there is one more trick here. What we could do is we could read cat file 1, we could do cat file 2, file 3, and then you could throw that into cat 4, file 4. Are you guys enjoying this? I need at least one yes.
A lot.
Okay. Okay, watch this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this here and then hit enter. Okay, so what it did here is, can somebody tell me what it did here?
It will copy file 1 and file 2 into file 4.
Yeah, but this time it's going to be double as much because because it has 7 lines in here. File 1, this is file 2. Then it's going to read file 1 and file 2. Remember, double arrow, it added itself. So when I do cat file 4, I should have 14 lines in here. There you go. You could count. So when you have a double greater than sign, it's adding to the file. It's not going to override it. Okay, so all of a sudden the file is 14 lines long.
So Zafar, why? Just because the file 4 is there, so that's why it's doubling it. Let's say if there is no file 4 over there.
Yeah, file 4 was not there. That means even if you use this command here, it's going to read only once here. It's going to read 1 and 1. File double arrow, double greater than sign is to not to override it, just to add it. So if you do file 5 here, you could still use this, and file 5 should have only 14 lines. There you go.
Okay, got it.
But Zafar, if we have just the example which we just look at, file 1, file 2, file 3, and appending to file 4. So if we would have moved the 2 greater than sign before file 3, file 2 greater than file 3, file 4, will that file 2 will be appended to both of those files?
Okay, tell me how.
So move the.
Hold on, let me clear this.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Okay, so file 2 greater than file 3, file 5.
File 2.
File 2, after that, after file 2, greater than, append, then remove that. Yeah. So will this?
So it will write the content of the file. So if the file 3 is already have a content in it, it should write to file 3 and file 5 separately.
Yeah, so it will append to both file 3 and file 5, right?
Yeah, I haven't tried it. Let's take a look at it. That's a very good question. What was it? File 3. Yep, it added the extra 7 lines in there, and file 5 already was big, right? So file 5 was a new file, right, or was it an old file?
I think it was an old file, but they have like more than 14 lines.
File 5 had more than 14 lines. Okay, yeah, file 5 was here.
So I think what it did,
It never wrote it to file 5 then.
Okay, I thought it just overwrite the file 5 too.
It overread file 3, but it didn't write to over file 5 here. You know how we could check? We could check ls-l. Okay, so file 3 was written, file 5 was never written. So it ignored file 5.
Okay.
This is all these are very good question. I mean, I've been doing this for years now, but still I'm learning a lot of stuff myself because I'm not doing everything every time, even though I'm saying I'm doing everything every time. But there, Linux is deep subjects that I may, if I do something at one point, I just have to look up sometimes, honestly. So it's a great question, and this is like a great environment you stumble upon, and that's how you're going to learn things. Right now what we are doing is we're just learning how to ride a little bike, and then later on when we know how to ride the bike, then we're going to go into deeper subjects. But cat is a very good thing here. You practice this rest of the week here, but I want everybody to go on to the site and put your study logs in here. Okay, go in there for this week and next week, type your name and everything, and the hours you're spending in, and if you have completed any assignment, put a check there. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'll start giving you out assignments, and you could go on to my online server and then complete the assignment there. Okay?
All right, sir.
All right, so I'm going to stop here, and then I like everybody to practice, and then anybody who's stuck or have any problem, put that into the chat so that you all could help each other out. And then if I don't see anybody help out, then I'll respond.
All right, sir.
I missed that. Is any homework this week?
No, you're supposed to be practicing the what we learned. Practice this.
Okay. You just showed a.
No, yeah. About 2-3 weeks from now,
Okay.
I'll give you assignment. I'll put
Okay.
another link in here. You have an assignment, and you log into the online server. And then once you log into online server, you with your ID, and you complete the assignment there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. We have a great class today. Okay.
Thank you, Professor.